It's a holy ground for cricket. It will be a nice venue. Next week we will have the test event over there. So, but now let's concentrate on the next match. You see Dmytro Hrachov shooting on target 1, entering first on the court, and Pedro Alcala on target 2.
And a little bit about these two gentlemen. Vivas Alcala, the 6th seed, 19 years old. He was ranked 21st in the world going into Shanghai at the 4th stage and came out ranked 9th after his strong performance there. Hrachov from the Ukraine, 28 years old, ranked 4th in the world. A very quiet, studious, very serious young man. Takes his sport and his craft very seriously.
Yeah, he in Athens he got already his first bronze medal at the Olympics, being 20th in the individual. And he's a little bit in the shade of Olympic champion Viktor Ruban of Ukraine that won in Beijing. But this year he was stronger. He is here, Viktor is not here. So let's see, he has a big motivation. He wants to be the best archer in Ukraine, beating in the year his friend Viktor, who was 3 years ago almost, 2008, he also won the World Cup final in Lausanne. And he wants to win the World Cup, and next year maybe the Olympics to be at his level. So let's see, he has a strong motivation. Let's see who's shooting first.
Big, strong athlete on the right. Hrachov from the Ukraine, hoping that this is his moment to shine. And of course on the left you see Pedro Vivas Alcala.
One thing to his coach, Viktor Sidoruk from Ukraine, was a world champion in the early 60s for Russia at that time. Oh, Pedro shooting 9 low. You see, we have new target faces every time, so archers don't see where the other hit.
Where the other groups were.
Yeah.
They'll create their own groups.
That's it.
Ideally, and there's an 8.
8-9. Little lead for Pedro on the right.
A little bit of a feeling out period here in this first set, as they try to get used to the conditions.
Yeah.
Get dialed in.
Ooh, it's a 9.
Close.
Close to the 10. Very close.
So Pedro with 2 9s to start off the match.
Dmytro, very quiet, very strong shot on this. It's a 9. Still trailing by 1.
Vivas Alcala up by 1. A 10 here would put this set away and give him 2 points.
Good group, a little bit low, so move the side down a little bit. It's a 9-9-9 low that could be easily a 30.
So a 10 would tie it and split the points for this set.
9-9-8. So by 1 point, 1 point down. So he lost the set. Pedro's coach is Korean. So Mexico is in the hand of Koreans as the Americans. Korean coaches are all over the world in the meanwhile, trying to bring the Korean way of shooting into the countries. And you see some are already getting strong.
Talk about that, Andreas. What is the Korean way of shooting?
Korean way of shooting is the fact that, as you see, in Italy we have soccer players that are treated like gods. In the US you have football players and baseball and basketball players treated as gods. In Korea they have archers treated as gods. So they have 200 professional coaches. They have professional teams. For Hyundai, Samsung, they have company factory teams that are shooting in leagues.
So it's a real developmental system.
It's definitely, and it's a historic. Archery is a historic sport for them.
Hrachov with a 9 to start off the second set, trailing 2-0.
Yeah, a little bit low. He moved aside, so he sees that he had a good shot and he wants to get into the 10. Pedro with a weak 8, high right. Was not a strong shot. And what you see, Pedro is a left-handed archer, so he faces really Dmytro.
Five seconds on the Longines clock.
And a 9 on the board. So 9-9-18. It's a 10. Pedro needs a 10 to tie on before the third arrow. It's an 8. So opens the door a little bit to Hrachov to come back. Logically with a 9 he clinches the match. Even with an 8. And with the 7 would be
to win the set.
9.
9.
So the highest score for Pedro is 26 that he can shoot. So Pedro
Essentially, for all intent and purposes, Hrachov has won the set.
yes, and Pedro wants to shoot his third arrow because he wants to be sure that the next set he starts up right. Not a good set this. 3 red, 3 eights, all in the red. And I have to say they are split all over the target, so definitely not a strong shot. You see the group is open, an open group for Pedro. Hrachov had a much tighter group. He had only his first 8 in the first set. That is out of the yellow. So I think that this third set will show us again. It's a third or fourth set match that we are talking together. We are commentating together, and every time the third set was the most important one.
It turns on the third set, and it will be Vivas Alcala shooting first at target number 2. The young man from Mexico who is 6th at stage 2 in Turkey.
Hitting the red again, an 8. Dmytro, not a big pressure on him on this. Let's see what he does. A 9 low. Low 9.
But still enough to take a 1-point lead in this third and pivotal set.
We didn't see a 10. We didn't see a 10.
We still have not seen a 10.
Loads of 8s for Pedro. Pedro is his bow arm is not straight. He is not holding the line as he should. That's why he is wobbling left and right. Dmytro, much better, much closer. You see, he's not hitting the 10, but he at least hits the 9 ring. So 2 points lead.
Consistently in that 9 ring, while Alcala has been consistently in the 8 ring.
That seemed to be a better shot. It's a 9. But for Dmytro, a 7 would tie, so better than a 7 will give him a 2-point lead in this match.
Which he knows full well, and there's the 9.
Carl, where are the 10s?
Where are the 10s, Andreas?
I don't know.
I was going to ask you that myself.
They have stolen the 10s. I don't know what happens here.
Tricky lighting conditions. Yesterday was an absolutely beautiful day. No clouds in the sky. Bluebird day. Sunny. Little less wind. A little more wind today. A little more overcast. Conditions changing, but that is the sport of archery. You have to deal with the conditions, the hand that you're dealt.
It's not an indoor sport. It's an outdoor sport with all the tricks out there. It can rain. It can. There's only one reason to stop an archery event. It's a heavy storm and lightning.
Lightning, yes.
What we had in Antalya this year. We had to stop it. Oh.
There's our friends from back in Utah, in the United States, Brittany and Lexi, who are here covering the event.
Yeah, as a
for Win-Win
World Cup fan reporter, also on YouTube. You can
work,
watch them.
Yep, their work will be found on archery.org or archery.tv, excuse me.
Archery.tv and YouTube also. First shot for Pedro. 9. Oh, finally he goes closer to this 10 ring.
He's under some pressure right now, trailing 4-2 in the match. Needs to win this set to take it to a 5th set.
Yep. And Dmytro, long arrow, but it hits the 10. Here's the
there
first 10.
There you go. It was out there.
Yeah.
Just a matter of time.
It's a matter of time. And shot in the right moment in the 4th set. 2 9s to the right.
Good grouping.
It's a group, but not
in the right spot.
He
needs a group in the 10s.
Dmytro, oh, strong hand, nice shot, axe, yeah.
Big, strong young man from the Ukraine.
You know what they did? They kept these 10s to show us the first 30 for the day. 10, 10, 10. Let's see. Pedro, 9 left now. He's getting closer group, but not in the 10. And Dmytro needs an 8 to clinch the match.
And advance on to the semifinals.
But he wants the 10. I know him. He wants the 10. It's
close,
a 9.
but not quite enough to get the 10, but enough to sew up the match with Pedro Vivas Alcala. There's Hrachov, who is the 3rd-seeded archer coming into the World Cup finals, holding off the 6th-seeded Pedro Vivas Alcala by the final count of 6-2. So not a lot of drama, not a lot of suspense, despite the fact that Vivas Alcala did win the first set to take a 2-0 lead, but the next 3 sets go to the young man from Hrachov.
Actually, you have to see, Hrachov shot only his first arrow out of the red, out of the yellow with the 8, and then he shot loads of 9 and 2 10s, and this brought him this win and the chance to face Dai from China later today.
We did not see Hrachov in Shanghai. He passed up the 4th stage, but did win 3 medals at the stage before that in Ogden, Utah, including the silver medal in the individual competition.